Bit of a break from my usual piece of kit here. This here is a Denix replica of the Colt 45, or the 1911 as we all love to call it. This is the field stripping version. So what do I think of the gun? Got a good weight to it, yeah, it's got a nice finish. Typical Denix, this wood here, it looks alright as I'm seeing it on the display, but actually in real life it's kind of orangey. All their stuff is like that, very orangey. I don't know what finish they use on it, but yeah, it's a bit odd. And the wood always has a strange smell to it as well, you'll notice that. But, you know, forgive it, it's not too bad. What features have we got? Magazine release. The magazine will just fall out the moment you press it. The magazine itself won't chamber actual rounds. It's got this cutout here. It's like a fake magazine. There's no lips either at the top to actually retain rounds. It's all to do with the VCR Act, and I don't mean video cassette recorder. There's one for you oldies amongst us. Yeah, gotta love it. And got a decent click to it. What features have we got? We have a moving grip safety, but as I'll demonstrate in a bit, that doesn't actually work. Actual safety catch, which only engages when the gun is cocked. You can pull the trigger. It will actually sort of, how can you put it, release. When you then release the safety catch, it goes to half cock. And then, yeah, it will actually fire off on half cock. The actual grip safety, so if we cock it again, you can see I can pull the trigger and it fires. Really, I should be squeezing the grip for it to fire. So even though it's there and sprung loaded, it doesn't actually do anything. On the slide, we've got the takedown cutout, and we've also got the hold open cutout. So if we pull the slide back, and just slightly push. There we go. What you need to do when you pull that back is just push this little button on this side a little. Don't push it too much, because if you push it too much, it can pop out of this plunger here, and then it's a right pain, and you basically have to do the field strip to get it back again. So to release the slide, just pull down on the lever as you should, and it releases quite nicely. But you'll notice you can't just push that lever up. You have to give it a little gentle prod from this side just to get it into position. Don't push it too hard, because then this plunger here kicks it out and it becomes a pain. In terms of markings on the gun, government model, automatic caliber 45 on this side, quite nice. We have Denix, made in Spain. It's a shame it does say that, but I suppose it's got to. Serial number there. Now, I haven't compared this to any other ones. I couldn't tell you if that serial number actually equates to anything, or whether they all have that serial number. M1911A1 and US Army. It's got the World War I style of grip with the diamonds on and the checkering. It's a replica. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It gives you the feel of the 1911. Weight wise, it's quite weighty, but dare I say it, not as weighty as it should be. But it's difficult to get the real weight with Mazak, really, isn't it? But in terms of, if you just want a replica, you want the look of it, you don't necessarily want a BB. And the problem with, of course, CO2 BB, they always have all this messy writing all over the side in white, which just looks terrible. Or even worse, they have rail on the side. It's just terrible, I'm sorry, but why do I want my gun to say rail on it? Sometimes, just for the look, a replica's a better bet, and in this case, quite a bit cheaper. Yeah, it's alright. So, this being the field strippable version, lots of potential for losing bits. So, let's give it a go, shall we? Now just bear in mind, Denix don't sell spare part components. So if you lose something, if something goes whizzing across the floor, yeah, you're going to have to buy it all over again. Bit of a pain. So, I've ejected the magazine. I'm going to stop saying so with any luck. Step 1 or 2 after ejecting the magazine, push down on the plunger, twist, release this part, let your finger off gently. Out comes this sort of follower, followed by the spring. Now you want to slide the, oh god, I just said it, slide the slide. Oh, how embarrassing. Slide it back to the takedown position, which is here. Push on the other side, should have shown that. On this side, push that so that the takedown flicks up, pull it out. Then you can just pull the slide forwards. Here, make sure, you saw me lock my hand around it. This piece here will fall out. So lock your hand around it. Barrel pulls out the front. Let that piece fall forwards, and then the barrel will come out. And there you go. All tucked down in a lovely messy pile on the floor. Don't lose any bits. That's all I'll say. Putting it back together. This is the bit I'm always bad at with my guns. I can take them apart, no problem. It's putting them back together that's a problem. Barrel back in. So I'm going to flick that little aluminium latch down, because I say aluminium. Pretty sure it's aluminium anyway. Flick it down so it's in this position here. You'll see why in a moment. Make sure you put this little piece back on. The cutout curve there goes against the barrel. Slide it into this area here. Now, take your receiver, I'm going to call it. Put the slide onto its little cutouts. There we go. Slide forwards. And that piece fell out. Bastard. This is the problem with trying to do things on camera. There we go. In line. Here we go. Right. See the cutout here? Make sure that silver piece on the barrel is aligned with it. Putting the pin back in. Pop the pin through. There we go. Rack the slide back to the takedown position, which is here. And then this bit is so fiddly. There's this tiny plunger here. Push that back. And you have to... There we go. She's in. You may struggle, or you may be a smart ass and you might be able to do it straight away. If you do it straight away, don't put it in the comments, because that's just bragging. Slide the slide all the way forwards. The barrel's slopping about in there. Spring, pop it down, and it will usually go straight onto that little follower. Then you've got your, I'm going to call it a follower, you've got your big follower. I love technical terms. Big follower. Drop it on. And this bit is quite fiddly. Push it down. Now you want the slide all the way forwards to do this bit, because otherwise the barrel can end up out of alignment. So have it so it's like that. Push that plunger and turn and release. There we go. We are back together. It will always cock whenever you've took it down. So obviously, being safety conscious, we're going to release it as such, because we're used to real guns, not just replicas. There we go. Magazine in. It's good to go. Always, when you've took your gun apart, dry fire it. If it's a spring gun, obviously that's difficult. But PCP, CO2, real guns, ideally using a snap cap. Whenever you took it apart, always try and dry fire it. Make sure it's empty first, obviously, because otherwise you're going to take it out to the range, stroke come to need to use it, and it's not going to work. And it's just a bit embarrassing. There we go. I hope the takedown video is helpful. Once you get used to it, you get the hang of it. Just don't lose any bits. All right. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't, pop a little comment to say why you didn't like it, and I'll endeavour to improve next time. Otherwise, if you just leave me a dislike and you don't say why, well, doesn't help anybody, does it? So, doesn't help you, doesn't help me, doesn't help anyone. Right, there we go. Hopefully normal service will be resumed fairly soon with actual live firing guns. Just not had much time at the moment, what with building a workshop and various other things. Mother-in-law having been in hospital for 8 weeks. We don't go into that. And just life being shit in general.